Hello everyone, welcome to Canteen Cup. My name is Scott, and how is everybody today? Today is another part of the series. I'm going to talk about two things today that I want to help people with and kind of tell you a little bit, how I got to where I am. So the first thing I want to talk about is concealing a weapon. And it's not as hard as it is if you have the right tools to do the job, so to speak. Yesterday I bought a new pistol, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. But I looked at these little miniature pistols. I looked at a Springfield Army Hellcat, and I looked at a Kimber, and my hands aren't huge, but they're large, and I really don't like those teeny tiny guns. But so I ended up buying another gun, which I have here today. This is an Arex Rex 01. I'm going to talk about this quite at length. This video may go a little long because I think it's got a lot of cool things, but I want to talk about it, and this is going to be a two-part video as far as the Arex is concerned. But the reality of it is you don't need to have a teeny tiny weapon in order to conceal one properly. For an example, Friday when I went to the Viking meetup, I was carrying a SIG P228, which is the previous version of the SIG P229. So it's a compact, but it's a pretty good sized pistol, and I was able to carry that concealed, wearing nothing but a shirt over what I'm wearing right now. And it was a light shirt, and I kept it unbuttoned. It concealed very well. It didn't print. So I want to tell you how I did that, because contrary to popular belief, it is not the size of the gun, it's not the length of the barrel, it's not the width of the grip. Of course, after a certain length it does kind of play a little bit, but in reality, the important things that you need to do for concealing is to have a good belt, and two, have a good holster. Now I'm going to show you what I'm wearing, what I do, and I have a figure like a telephone pole, so I really don't have a waist for a belt to hang on. So when I start loading my pockets up with my EDC and I wear holsters up, my stuff just sags, and when it sags, your pistol tends to hang out and it prints. Whereas if I have the suspender that holds the belt in place, then the belt can do its job. So right now I'm going to show you what I have. And all this is a Deltonic belt. It's a fairly cheap belt. I think I paid $30 or $35 for it, but it's made of really thick leather. The holster is an Alien Gear cloak holster. The gun is an Arex 01, and that is a SIG copy, and it's actually a little bit, in height wise, the grip size is a little bit shorter than my P228. But again, if you notice, I don't know if you can see it or not, but because the way I have the belt snug, not tight, and I have my suspenders holding everything out where it's supposed to be, do you see that the grip, which is the part that sticks out, is nice and tight against my kidneys? And that's what you want. When you wear a shirt over this, that will not show. And you can probably even put a P226 in here and do the same thing. This is the holster I wore on Friday. This holster fits both my P228 and it fits my 01, so that was a blessing right there. The other nice thing about the Alien Gear holsters, especially the cloak or the shapeshifter, and I think I like the cloak a little bit better, is you can change these shells out so that once you have the back part, the part that fits against your skin and hooks up to the belt, you can change out the plastic shells, and then you can have different pistols. And the shells, I think, are about 12-15 bucks a pop, and the whole holster is about 40 bucks a pop. So you can save money. The way I look at it, I'm typically only wearing one at a time anyhow, and it takes about 3 to 5 minutes to swap these out. So, but this is what I wear. But like I said, the important part is that your holster and your belt, it's a system. The holster and your belt are pulling the gun into your side, and then when you drape a shirt or you drape a jacket or you drape a vest over it, it disappears. And trust me, I was around about a dozen people yesterday and nobody knew. Okay? Unless I, you know, there's a lot of times I really don't care if I print, and if it's windy out, I can take my shirt and I can button the button. But a lot of times I'll leave it unbuttoned. If it flops out, the gun is enough far back that people won't see it unless my shirt does a Marilyn Monroe, you know. But in general, this gun stays concealed. I carry that P228 into several stores, and you know, nobody knows, nobody cares. The big thing is a lot of times you're a little oversensitive that you're carrying a gun, and most people aren't looking for a gun. So even if you do print a little bit, they're not going to see it. And that's, you know, that's just the way it is. So get a good belt. Like I said, this is a Deltonic. You can get them on Amazon. Get them a little big. I got like one size bigger. It's a thick belt. Even better yet, if you just happen to have money, is to get one of these steel line belts, so it's really nice and rigid, and that'll help hold the belt in. And then, like I said, if you have a telephone pole figure like me, get a pair of suspenders. And this is what I wore yesterday. I just put a shirt, you know, an untucked shirt over the top, and you know, over the top of suspenders and everything, and I was fine. All right. The second part of this video is I want to talk about this Arex Rex 01 Compact. This is a SIG look-alike, but it's improved. And for all you lefties out there, this gun is good for lefties, which is why I really wanted to kind of have this video. And I was really excited about it. I know this is going to sound funny. I haven't shot this yet. And the main reason is, typically when I go shooting, I bring my wife with me, and we go shooting together. We get a little discount when two people use the same booth at the range or whatever. But I was waiting to go with her, but I was excited about the features of this gun, and I know enough about the history of this gun that these are good guns. But however, I will do another video after I shoot it. But I want to take time now to talk about this gun. Again, I'm not a big gun reviewer, and so I'm not going to, there's a lot of people out there that do these in-depth reviews. I'm really not that guy, but I do want to take the time, and I do want to show you lefties out there that there is hope for you, that there is a gun that you can manipulate with your left hand very well, and I'm going to show that to you. By the way, the sticker price for this gun is about 600 bucks, so it's about, you know, 60% of the cost of a SIG, but it acts just like a SIG. So without further ado, here it is. Some of the differences with this right here is a slide release and a decocker. Okay, this is your takedown button. This is a safety. And it's a really cool safety, and this is where I want to start. Like right now, I can pull the trigger, and you see the hammer goes back. I can flip the safety up, nothing. And it is an ambidextrous safety. It's on both sides. Remember that, lefties, both sides. Okay? So that's cool. I can flip her down, and then I have a regular Glock, or not regular, a regular SIG double action trigger. Now, here's where it gets kind of cool. I can cock it to the rear, and I can flip up the safety. The safety is now up, and look, you know what this means? I can carry this cocked and locked like a 45 1911. I flip it down, and it has a very nice trigger. Now, there we go. So, there we go. The short reset is rather nice, and the single action is very nice. Now, let's talk about this from a lefty's point of view. Number one, ambidextrous safety, both sides. Number two, mag release, ambidextrous, both sides. In case you're not seeing this, I'm holding this in my left hand, so I can function the safety with my left hand. I can decock. Did you see that? Let me show that again. The gun is cocked. I can decock it with my left hand. Nice. If the slide is locked back, I can do it with my left hand. Now, I'm a right-handed person. I'm a little bit ambidextrous, but I'm mainly a right-hand guy, so I wanted you to see that. Now, some people complain that the mag release is a little bit recessed when compared to the grip, but again, looking from a lefty's point of view, I can pop it with my thumb, or, and I actually kind of like this, I can just hit it with my fingers. Boom. So in general, this really is like a SIG P229. I mean, it looks a lot like it, except it's got this safety. And I kind of like this cocked and locked feature. That's pretty nice, and for you lefties out there, a nice gun. Now, if you decide to get one of these, if you can find one, where I had them, they had a pretty good supply. Let me talk about a few caveats with this gun. One is the sights aren't that good. I mean, they're metal sights, but the dots, they're not phosphorescent, and to me, they're not very bright. So that's the first thing that's going to go for me, are the sights. I'm a True Glow makes a set of sights for this gun. The other thing is, this gun comes dry, and I mean dry as in desert dry. When I first brought it home, I pulled the trigger and it was tight, so I field stripped it, oiled the dickens out of it, and now it's getting better. The other caveat is these springs are stiff, and so when you first start pulling on the double action trigger, it's going to seem really hard. But as time goes on, because I just started working on this last night, as time goes on, it's going to start to loosen up, and it's a very smooth action. But right now, the double action is a little bit on the heavy side, but I really believe that through shooting it, it's going to loosen up quite a bit. It feels just like a SIG at you know, about 2/3 the cost. It's a nice gun. Like I said, I'm putting the disclaimer in here, is I haven't shot it yet, but in the next couple days I'm going to shoot it, and then I'll come back and report to you how it shoots. But the big thing is I wanted to show you that this is a lefty's gun. I didn't do exactly the best job doing it, but it is a lefty's gun. You can operate the slide release, you can operate the decocker, you can pop the magazine out 2 ways, and you can operate the safety. What's not to like? So for all you guys out there, and also too, this has a rail, standard Picatinny rail. This one's got 3 slots instead of the Glock's 1. The other caveat is this gun's a little heavier than the Glock because it's steel. It's a nice feeling gun. It feels like a SIG, and the grip is really nice. One of the things I like about it is it's got the old school striations on the back. It's got it on the back, it's got it on the front, and it's got a little stiping up here. It does have front grippy things and back grippy things, however you want to use. Like I I've been shooting for over 50 years, so I kind of got a lot of old school stuff. It does have a loaded chamber indicator up here. This little lever pops up. Feels good. I'm looking forward to shooting this. I'm going to put a couple hundred rounds through it, and this is probably going to be my duty gun for a while. Again, it's not the size of the gun. When it comes to concealment, it's not the size of the gun. It's your holster and your belt that really helps determine how well you'll conceal it. And trust me, when I was holding, I had that little Hellcat 911. I don't think I can shoot that as well as something like this. You know, you have a snappy cartridge like a 9mm. You know, having the weight, and being able to, the weight will help hold down the recoil. It's going to be, it's going to help you. The weight helps you. And like I said, if you're wearing a good system, if you have a good stiff belt that'll support that holster and the gun, you won't feel it. It's when you have a sloppy belt, or a very, a not stiff belt, that your gun tends to hang out, it tends to dig in down here, it tends to print more. But a good belt and a good holster is what's going to help you. The other thing I do on these Alien Gear holsters is I sink them down into my pants as far as they'll go. This is the lowest notch for these, and I still have plenty of purchase. But find your spot, and this is probably going to be my duty gun. I'm really looking forward to shooting this, and I'm really looking forward to making it a duty gun. I just think it's going to be great. Like I said, but I will do another video. It'll be a couple days, but I will do another video after I've gone to the range and put it through its paces and see how it operates, and then I'll report back on that. But right now, I'm really excited, and I'm really excited for you lefties out there. My son, Pastor Joe Fox, and all you other lefties, you may like this. So I'll get back to you. Stay safe. Stay secure. We'll see you.